Well, joining us to talk about today's vote is Dr. Raphael Sonenshein, Executive Director for the Pat Brown Institute for Public Affairs at Cal State LA. It's great to see you again. We've been talking to you throughout this, campaign period, and we've been really looking forward to getting your thoughts on today. So let's start pretty broad, and that is, what do you see as the biggest issues driving today's election?
Well, certainly on the one side, it's the economy, inflation, and crime, although it's turning out crime isn't really that big a driving force. It's the inflation, the economy, gas prices on the one hand. And then it's abortion and the big differences between the political parties, especially, believe it or not, the question of democracy seems to be moving voters, and it's drawing young voters out to the polls, and it's probably drawing women out to the polls. Even though all the pundits told us abortion wasn't going to last as an issue, I think they were flat out wrong. I think it has continued to be a driving issue and may still affect the outcome in the mayor's race here in LA.
Absolutely. Yeah, because we've obviously talked about Rick Caruso being Republican up until just moments before he announced his candidacy. But let's talk a little bit more, zeroing in on the local part as well, Dr. Sonenshein. How do you think that the scandal, now talking about our LA City leaders, the scandal of that leaked audio is impacting today's vote at all?
Nobody can really tell because it seems to have probably helped and hurt both mayoral candidates. It created a lot of chaos. The whole leadership structure of the city council collapsed. It's opened the doors for a lot of new people to come in. We assumed all those people would be coming from the left, and some will, and they're being very successful. But it's looking like in the 13th council district, that could be up for grabs. Mitch O'Farrell, who knows, might, shock the world and survive. The city attorney's race seems to be maybe going one way and the city controller the other way. But one thing you can be sure of, next month, the entire government of LA City Hall is going to be completely new faces. It's going to be like unlike anything I've ever seen in my decade studying LA. And I think that's going to be kind of exciting. It'll be a little bit disorienting, but it's sure going to be different.
What a new chapter in our city's history. So let's get to that mayor's race, because there's some meat here, that's for sure. Number one, LA's homeless situation has played into this race. We have Rick Caruso making some promises that, quite frankly, a lot of his detractors say are impossible for him to meet. Nevertheless, it might be successful. But there's also the money issue, where he has spent so much more, in fact, historic amounts of money on his part of the race, yet we still see two candidates that are 50-50. What are your thoughts?
I've come to the conclusion that if either candidate, whichever one wins, will be one of the biggest upsets of all time. Can you believe that? That if Karen Bass wins, she will have defeated one of the best organized, well-funded mayoral campaigns I have ever seen, $100 million. If Rick Caruso wins, he will have defeated the most unified, democratic, and progressive campaign effort I've ever seen in Los Angeles. So they each have a mountain to climb, and look where they are, 50-50. And at this point, I kind of assumed this would go down to the wire. What I do wonder about is the big news for tonight nationally is not having a red wave and having a blue counter wave that is surprising everybody. And you have to wonder a little bit when this race is over, when we finally count the ballots, God knows when, that basically, will that blue wave be there for Karen Bass as well?
Yeah, you never know. It's a really exciting evening to watch the elections be counted. Well, Dr. Rafe Sonenshein, we always appreciate you joining us. Thank you very, very much. Of course, we'll see you in the next few months as well, as always.
It's my pleasure.
You got it.